I have reason to suspect that TJ Dish Obi is in some secret society. The way the book is written, and I don't want to give too much of the book away, you know, you should get the book and read it and whatnot, but it is very much influenced by feminism and gender feminism, and there is a slight bias. You know, it's impossible not to see that. The bias is toward his secret society beliefs and his pride in being African and being Igbo. It's not a major bias, but it's enough that you notice it. The most disconcerting fact of the book, about the book, is that it's very much influenced by feminism. I see this in the secret societies a lot, where they have more of a unisex religion, you know, more of a, well, you know, all religions pretty much are unisex, but you know what I mean, they're more, it's very feminized to where the truth is lost. You know, with the pride in being an Igbo, it doesn't really compromise any of the truth. You know, it's not really a big deal. In the pride of being African, you know, being black, it doesn't really compromise any of the truth. The major compromise I see here, the major, you know, failure to be forthright, to be open and truthful, comes in the feminist perspective. This book is written as if there was a feminist with him the whole time. It draws into question several things about him that I'm not going to explore right now. There's a lot of research, you know, it's written at the college level. There's a lot of things you can appreciate about it. But I think it's rather saddening that, you know, you would tell the truth about everything and then you would throw in this feminist bullshit. Okay? First of all, this idea that women were as great of a warriors as men is just ridiculous. You may as well be talking about babies were as great of a warrior as men are. You know, you talk about women wrestlers who, you know, and as if they were great wrestlers. You know, show me, you know, why are there no women wrestlers who are as great wrestlers as the best men wrestlers? You know, it's the same reason there never was. Women aren't as strong, period. You know, if men can't dominate wrestling, then they wouldn't really be men. And of course, that is what you're getting at. That's what you're trying to do with trying to blur the line between a man and a woman. This idea of women warriors is just absolute nonsense. This idea of revered women has some truth to it. Yes, there were some women who were slightly revered. This idea that there's some sort of a balance. My number one major problem with the feminism in this book was the idea that he said that there was a balance between men and women in Igbo culture. Absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Okay? There definitely is an aspect of women, you know, trying hard to assert their influence and their authority, and women being outspoken, and women, you know, taking advantage of being elders. There's an aspect of, yes, older women have a certain respect. Women who, you know, there's a certain respect for them. But it would be like comparing the respect of, you know, a janitor who's very good at his job with a fucking, you know, a war hero or something. Or, you know, comparing the respect of, you know, let's think of a good comparison here. You know, comparing the respect of Bruce Lee versus the respect of Taylor Swift. I think that is a very good comparison. See, a lot of people respect Taylor Swift. She has a lot of fans, you know, but does she really deserve it? No. I mean, come on. We all know that. We all know she doesn't deserve it. We all know that you cannot compare Bruce Lee to Taylor Swift. But do they perhaps have a similar amount of fans? Yes. Is there a different respect? You know, and it goes back to the same thing, you know. where are the women that compare to Muhammad Ali? I mean, there's not a strong emphasis on, yes, there were some women who had, you know, an uncanny ability to fight. But, you know, to even put it anywhere near close to men's skills as warriors is absolutely dishonest. Don't go there. Just don't go there. It's disgraceful. It's dishonorable. Stop selling out for the pussy. There is no equivalent. There's no female equivalent, not Joan of Arc or anything like that, of Shaka Zulu. There is no female equivalent of Genghis Khan. There is no female equivalent to Alexander the Great. And so on and so forth. In any given culture, there is no female equivalent to the greatest leader of that culture. There's no female equivalent to Narmer, or Tutmosis, or Necho, or Ramses, or Mentuhotep. There is no female equivalent to Amosi, or Kamosi, or Taharka, Kashta. There is no female equivalent. Were there females somewhere along the line like Candace and so on? Yes. Were there females who were famous like Cleopatra? Yes. But you don't compare them because they're not comparable. One is just a female who, because she was female, got a lot of attention. The other is one of the greatest warriors and leaders in history. You just can't compare it. I mean, it is absolutely painful to see people stoop to the level of doing what feminists want them to do so they can be accepted in their circles and networks when they write their book. You know, oh, you don't offend the females. You know, you bootlick to them so they're all nice to you and they're throwing their pussy at you. You know, I hope you're proud of yourself that you would disrespect your ancestors for some pussy so you can be respected by your peers. You know, besides that, it's a great book. It's a very informative book. You know, and then there's one other problem I have with it. You make it seem like secret societies were a positive part of history. You do touch on the fact that some of these great martial artists were overseers, and I commend you for that. But this idea that Freemasons and these different cults within the Igbo society were somehow a good thing, you know, as far as spiritually, is absurd. It is ridiculous. It is an abomination. It's not a truth. It is an abomination. Okay? These secret society cults that have shown their true colors over the years, you know, have really betrayed us. Why do you think the Prince Hall Masons goes back to the 1700s? You know? Because these people have betrayed us. They have compromised themselves. They have made deals for money and acceptance with this big secret society structure. You know, with the Illuminati, with the Freemasons. Okay, these Freemasonic groups are white groups. When you have black Freemasons, when you have cults merging with the Masonic organizations, that is what is called compromised integrity. I see a lot of things that should be impugned. I see a lot of horrible, horrible things, you know, in our scholars today. What is wrong with our scholars today is that they are elevated because of their network, not because of their achievement. That is what's wrong with society. Favoritism, despotism, nepotism, okay? You are not preserving African history as it was meant to be. You are preserving it in the way, you know, you are somewhat preserving it, and you are presenting it in a way that the secret societies want you to. Period. No matter how much gender feminists push things, no matter how many lies you tell, what is a disgrace is a disgrace. What is truth is truth. Nothing will change that. You know, you might be able to convince a bunch of complete idiots that females had the same amount of reverence and authority in African cultures as men. But come on. Anybody with a fucking brain knows that's not true. Kings, pharaohs, the great Sageti, okay? Only in the absence of a strong male figure did you have strong female figures. And almost always they used despicable means to get there. Cleopatra was a whore who used her body for power. Period. Candace was the whore queen who did not allow a righteous king to be in charge. Period. And so on and so forth. So, you know, our women who have, you know, pussy power are going to use it to try to fucking go after me for telling the truth? Absolutely. Are women who are older women going to try to use the fact that they're elders and in Igbo culture, you know, they're supposed to be respected to try to, you know, punish me? Absolutely. Are they going to subtly punish me? Absolutely. Are they going to punish me in a way that they know that I know why they're doing it, but it's still considered subtle, if you will, to the outside observer? Absolutely. Do I give a shit? No. I'm going to tell the truth. You know, it's sad that, you know, people like Ray Hagan, you're like, I'm going to tell it. And he comes off as somebody like me so you can confuse him like me. No. You are selling out for pussy. You are insecure. You're insecure in your ability to win women over, so you say things that win them over. You compromise the truth. You know, if there's some things that should be sacred. History, as it was, should be considered sacred. Religious history absolutely should be considered sacred. What do you think the Bible is? It's a religious historical account of how things were, of what happened. You know, religious books are historical accounts of how things happened, how the world was created, how the followers and the prophets lived and what they did and so on and so forth. So when you lie about history for a bunch of feminist dogs and Nancy boys, you have betrayed God. You have betrayed your ancestors. And you know that I'm right, no matter what you say, no matter how you sabotage me, no matter how you secretly try to punish me, as it's written in the book, as we all know these things happen. No matter how you blacklist and persecute and harass me, nothing will change the facts that you are harassing an honorable man, and what you have done is a disgrace!